Hello everyone, my name is Felipe Muniz, and today I going start a new content in channel about network in multiplayer games. A multiplayer game is a game when the player can interact with another players in the same game, in the same console or in a smartphone, laptop or computer connected with the internet and playing with another players the same game. Basically is it a multiplayer game, but for you developer multiplayer game, do you have something types to multiplayer connection? Do you have a local connection, P2P connection, dedicated connection? Okay. In the local connection type, we have the players in the same physical space connected in the same network or in the same console to play together. In this case, you have a low cost with the server. You do not have the server in this case. You do not have costs with the servers. The implementation of this network method, this type, is very simple. You do not have difficult to implement this type in your game, but do you have negative points here? Your game is not scalable using this type. You have limit of players, and the limit depends from the space. You do not have the 100 players in the same physical space to play together. It's crazy. You have 1, 2, 3, 5 players in the same physical space. Do you have this limit? The all players is playing the game offline. It's multiplayer, but in local network, not online. And do you not have security in your game in this type connection? And player can use any cheating in the game. You do not have the control from the players in this type. Okay, this is a local type. We have here the P2P connection type 2. In the P2P, do you have internet connection, but you do not have a server here too. One of the players needs started a server, needs to be a host of the game, and this player start the server and the another players connect with them. Okay, in this case, do you have a low cost tool? You do not have a server hosted in cloud. In this case, the player has the server. You have a middle difficult to implement this multiplayer type connection. In this case, do you have negative points too? Do you not have a scalable game here? The player is the server, and you depend of the internet connection of the player, and the player is not prepared to be a host of 100 players, for example. You have a great limit in this case too. Okay, the player is the host he takes advantage from other players. The host received and sent the packets first. He has milliseconds of advantage from other players in this case, and you not have security too. Okay, any player in any moment can use one uncheating. You do not make nothing, because you are not the server. The server is another player in this case. Okay, in the last type we have a dedicated server, and this type is the most overused by the games. In this case, you have the server, you are the server, you are the host of the server. You have a high cost because that, and the difficulty is very high comparing with another types, but you have some positive points. In this case, you are scalable, your game is scalable. You do not have limits. You can have any players connected in the server, any servers hosted in the clouds. You are not limited in anything here. Okay, you are performance from the server because you are the server. You can develop the server in if you want for your game, and you have security in your server. You can implement the movements, the collisions, and compare with the player's inputs, and move the player to correct position, for example, or the player remove collision with the client using a cheat. You can teletransport the player to correct position and ban the player or another thing. And you have the fully control from the server and the players in this case. Okay, this case is perfect for you create MMORPG games, mobile games, FPS games, and battle royale games, any style. If you need a great performance, a great security, and a great scalability. Okay, this is the main type used in the games. We have here an example of the communications in a dedicated server. We have the clients connected with the server. Your server is hosted in a cloud or VPS, turned on 24 hours by day. The players can be connected to the server any moment. Any players can be connected. You can have any service too. You can have APIs isolated from the server. You can have authentication for your game isolated from the server to security and best performance from the server. You can have any APIs, authentication, matchmaker, chatting API, all also isolated from the server. The server is specific for you calculate and process movements and inputs from the player in your game. Okay, you have to a database to save your player data or anything from your game, and a dedicated server is it. It's a simple in the theory, but it's very complex to implement in the code. In the next lessons we can see more about the network connections, network types, socket types, API types, database types, clouds to host your servers, and any something if you need to develop a dedicated server to create your multiplayer game. Okay, so it's it. We have here my contacts. You can send any question in the comments or in the blog or in the mail, and I hope this helped you, and I see you in the next class. Bye bye.